ask about the blue plaque that's up there. Maybe Elizabeth can tell us about that?
So, Howard and Lori and I went and participated in the Burlington Spelling Bee fundraiser last Thursday. And guess what? We won. So it was lots of fun. We helped them raise a whole bunch of money for food insecurity and the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And the big prize, the cast iron frying pan with Dolly Parton on the back. If you want to see a picture, I have it on my phone. Pretty great. A bunch of things. The last word was ratted.
Rabbit?
It was harder before that. Can anyone spell poison?
Yes.
Poison, who knows it?
No.
She wants it in the sentence.
Nobody.
I've seen.
It's like some part of the beer brewing process, like the foam on top of the beer when you're brewing.
Oh, it's probably German.
Yeah.
It is German.
So Kroizen.
We got the K and the
Yeah.
R. Anyway, that was probably the hardest word. We didn't get that one, but it did knock the whole team out. So it's poison. K-R-A-U-S-E-N.
Not Cousin?
Poison.
That's terrible. That's a terrible word. That's a terrible word.
Anyway. Any other questions?
Congrats.
Congrats. So Armand, you got a couple words and watch the speaker.
I'll speak softly, so. I have a sheet Leslie asked me to pass around on the Memorial Day event that we had. I thought it was fantastic. She did a great job. But she's looking for suggestions how to make it better, maybe shorter. So I'm going to pass it around. Please give us your comments. Thank you.
Yeah, so if, I know a lot of you were there. It was really a great day. It did rain. We had the highest amount ever. We had 77 people, including Rotarians there. So it was just a fantastic time. Everything was perfect. The poems were perfect. Everything was great. So, and Marty, there's Marty. How much you got on all the way up?
Quick question. I might have a job of transmitting a very high level skill, how to run this silly timer for the 5K. And I volunteered by email to bring it with me. And if any of our committee wants to learn how to run it, let me know. I don't know how many of the committee are here. But I'll hang out afterwards if you want to do that.
Thank you. Bring Elizabeth up. Again. Lauren, Elizabeth.
Okay, today we're welcoming back Catherine Benedict, and this time as our speaker. So Catherine, aka Catherine Grace, is an entertainment professional and producer who specializes in theater and film. She graduated with honors from Nazareth University with a degree in theater, including minors in music and philosophy. Hey, I have a minor in music too.
Oh, cool.
Upon graduation, Catherine was recognized by her alma mater for excellence in theater and the advancement of theater arts, an honor and a mission she has taken to heart. She has since enjoyed a lush career working with entertainment companies and arts nonprofits across the U.S., including Stella Adler Acting Conservatory in New York City, Walt Disney World Resorts in Orlando, 3 Cat Productions in Chicago, American High Film and Syracuse Studios in Central New York, and Outcast International at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Her favorite phrase is, "Let's discover what's possible." She now happily calls Vermont home. You can find her enthusiastically working with Vermont Stage, producing independent works in her spare time, and sneaking maple syrup into her coffee.
Yes.
All right, Catherine.
Thank you.
I'm sure you know how to speak into a microphone.
Well, we'll see. I talk with my hands, so.
It helps our online audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time and having having me here today and also coming to be with me. Today we're going to talk about Vermont Stage, and basically I titled this Community in Action because that's largely what we do. We work together. We try to strengthen our community and bring everybody together to move and act and move towards prosperity. So Vermont Stage, from this first slide, this is an image from Rhinoceros, which is recently done by Eugene Ionesco. Oh, actually, before I go into that, this will be helpful for me. Who here has seen a Vermont Stage show?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. Very cool. So, and how many of you are familiar with our new, where we are now in the Main Street Landing space? Okay, great. So Vermont Stage is a theater company that, a nonprofit professional theater company that has been here for about 30 years working in Burlington. We just celebrated our 30th anniversary last season. I think it was around a pandemic time where they started transitioning into the Main Street Landing space, which is down by the lakefront and closer to Church Street. Well, actually not technically closer to Church Street. I apologize, I'm new to Vermont. I should say that. So I'm still learning where everything is. But that being said, so down by the lakefront, there's a black box area that they worked with Main Street Landing Group in order to help build and run, and that is where Vermont Stage is housed now. So we do 6 to 7 productions. We can move to the next slide. We do 6 to 7 productions in a season, they're all largely housed there. And then whenever we have dark days, that is where other community members are able to use the space as well. So let's see here. Vermont Stage is a home for imagination. We gather people together to share a glimpse into other lives, to connect inside of discord, and to envision our world as it could be. Our mission is simple and clear. It is to create theater that makes our community a better place. This is an image of Primary Trust by Ebony Booth. This was a performance we did last spring, and it was a beautiful performance that explored moving through grief and how the resilience of the human spirit to seek connection at every turn, despite experiencing grief and despite any sort of internal things holding you back. Moving to the next slide. So, as I mentioned, we did just celebrate our 30th anniversary, and over 250,000 people have attended our shows over the years. Last season, we had seven plays in total, and with 88 performances. This piece by Brian Friel is translations, and it was a very well attended show. And it explored how culture can disappear. So moving to the next slide. What does Vermont Stage do for its community? Well, firstly, we entertain. We find it incredibly important to create spaces where we can come together, connect, and enjoy each other and hear stories that move us internally, that move us in a way that reminds us that we're human. We entertain because we view entertainment as the spark for connection and conversation. This is an image from Marie Curie that was performed just this past March. It was performed during Women's History Compassion. Together, we explored Marie Curie's lesser-known personal struggles surrounding her monumental scientific achievement. It was a beautiful story about seeking connection, friendship, how friendship can really get you through a lot of things. So we love a good laugh too, and including humor in our stories, I think is very important because it gives us the chance to breathe. It lets us shake off the day. Some nights, that's the point, a room full of people together laughing at how silly we can be and enjoying each other. Helping us to remember that not everything is so serious. We'll move to the next slide. So this is an image from Garbologists. It's a piece that explores service workers, and specifically our sanitation workers. It was pretty much a bit of a roaring comedy, but also with some exploration in terms of moving into different experiences of why people end up into certain situations that they end up in, and how they may seek healing and movement and outreach. Here, that was a garbage truck that we actually built. We built the back of,
Wow.
and it was fully operable. And I know this because I operated it. I was crewing this show in particular, and the way we set it up was actually a multiple rope and pulley system that we choreographed and basically added with sound, and it was like a giant puppet. It was pretty awesome to do. It was a lot of work to get it to that point, to get it to that coordination, but we got there, and every time the reactions from people and the chance to get to do it was just my theater nerdness was just like, yes, this was very cool. Let's see here. So this is why our mission rests on the belief that theater is more than entertainment. At its best, Vermont Stage experience broadens our understanding of ourselves and deepens our connections with one another. We can head to the next slide. And thirdly, how we impact the community, and it's kind of one of my more favorite things to talk about, is our productions boost the economy. And this is something to bear in mind when you're considering how arts actually does impact the economy. Arts is very frequently a stimulator for economic prosperity. We're living in a time where people are saying the opposite, and it's a very common old adage where, when times are tough, cut back, especially cut back on frivolous things. Well, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of aspects of the human spirit that are kind of frivolous, and we like to express those things. And what I found through my research is that frequently, it's actually the opposite, that as opposed to a prosperous economy leading to more arts programs, it's arts programs that actually tend to be a booster and lead to a prosperous economy. So last year we actually were added stimulus to our local comedy by $250,000, and that was just spent with audiences going to restaurants and shops on our way to see our shows. And the other big thing that Vermont Stage does is we financially support all of our creative artists. So every single person who is on our show is paid from the moment they start work to the last day that they end work. Since its founding, 3,000 artists have worked with Vermont Stage. Last year, we employed 250 artists, including me. So a little fun fact, my husband and I, we just moved here, and I mentioned that earlier. But the exciting thing is, so when we moved here, we were living in a studio apartment. We're wondering how the heck are we ever going to afford to buy a house, that sort of thing. And long story short, through a lot of aggressive searching for first-time homeowner purchases, and through by having study employment with Vermont Stage, we put a down payment on a house and moved in April.
Oh, congratulations.
This would not have been possible without having, but for me, it would not have been possible without having that financial backing. And I'm a ferocious advocate for the arts and advocate for artists, that if we want a strong culture and strong artists who are specialized, we need to support them, and we live in an economy that runs on money, so a lot of that does involve money. Let's see here. All right, moving to the next slide.
That would be you.
Alrighty, actually, I did want to add one more thing just to kind of give you an idea, and that's that last year, 59% of our budget was spent paying artists. So it's a large portion of what we spend is towards supporting artists. And the other thing I'm excited to talk about is our education programs. Another thing with Vermont Stage that I'm actually heavily involved in. Vermont Stage is growing our education programs specifically for students across the state. I'll get to a slide about it in a second, but there's a program called Vermont Young Playwrights that's been around for many years, pretty much, I think, close to its inception. But 2 or 3 years ago, we discovered that there was much more of a need. So we started just kind of reacting to that, and one thing led to another, and now we have multiple touring projects, and we're growing from there. So we bring theater directly to schools across Vermont State. We believe a better community starts with teaching empathy, and especially to our young people. No other art form does that better than theater, and I agree. We're humans, so we learn by watching each other. Let's see here. We work with the schools around the state to support the next generation of Vermonters as they grow into kind neighbors and future leaders. So last year, our programs reached over 2,000 students in 25 schools across 8 counties. We can get to the next slide. This is our slide about public square plays. This is our tour that we've had now for 3 years. We started with And Then They Came For Me, which was a piece exploring Anne Frank and the history surrounding Anne Frank. And that kind of started off as a one-off. It was supposed to just be a stage 3, make a one-time event, but people kept asking, and then teachers kept saying, we bring this to the school, and one thing led to another. We were touring it. So after we saw such a need and more students, but also teachers specifically coming forward and saying, we don't have this kind of curriculum in our schools and we need more, we started partnering them to see how we can bring our tours directly to students at a low cost. A lot of students, especially across Vermont Stage, don't really have it's not easy to bring students to the theater, especially like to a theater in Burlington. So to be able to get to them directly is incredibly meaningful and impactful. For me personally, I also grew up in a city that didn't have arts programming. And so the fact that I found theater is kind of strange and miraculous, but my own personal training was hard thought, like involved me having to actively like pursue it with everything that I had, and with often no idea what direction to run it or who to talk to. So I regularly think about this program and think how much I wanted something like this when I was younger. And so to now be part of it and be part of doing the thing and creating opportunities for students that I didn't have is it drives me. We are currently touring Gracie versus the People. It is a teen adaptation of Henri Gibson's An Enemy of the People, and we have a local playwright adapted it in order to kind of more effectively match the students. It basically, in it, a student discovers that her school has something in the walls that's turning everyone into lizards.
Nice.
After we perform it, which they generally, it's pretty funny. It's a pretty funny show. We often have a talkback panel, and we try to invite professional speakers. We had somebody from the Associated Press come and speak about the power of journalism. We've had another journalist. I can't remember. I know that we 7 days come, and there's somebody who's running for office whose name I've forgotten. That's my bad. But she also came, some a current political advocate came and spoke to the kids as well. So we're trying to bring more civic-minded engagement directly to the schools. Head to the next one. So this is Vermont Young Playwrights. So this is Vermont Stage's oldest education program. I'm pretty sure it's been around since the beginning, so about 30 years in the making. So it's how Vermont Young Playwrights goes is from November to March, theater artists travel to middle and high schools, and we lead intensive workshops that are also incredibly fun. And our learners run the gamut. We even include multilingual learners. We are as accessible as we possibly can be, because it's our mission to reach as many students as possible. By the end of the residency, each student writes an original play.
Nice.
And then in May, we go through a panel of kind of going through each of them, and it's a lot of peer led and peer reviewed, but there are plays that are selected to be staged lightly or read or presented in some way to students. So they'll gather from every school at our theater in Burlington for the Vermont Young Playwrights Festival. Williston Central School was there this last May. We just finished, I think it was May 6th and 7th we did this year. And they'll collaborate with the actors and directors in order to determine how they'll be worked with. I was talking with a friend of mine. I didn't get to be there at the event, but I was talking with a friend of mine who had done it for the first time. And he said he was helping to direct. He had one student who was more kind of shy and was just like, whatever you want, I just want to see it. He had another student who was like, oh, no, it has to be like this, and you have to say it like this, and was giving line reads. I love it. I love it. Yes, let's get engaged. Let's get you out there. Let's get you learning. Maybe it's a future director there. But they get to hear their work and see how it affects people in real time. And they get to see what it's like to actually stay with a project from the beginning to the end. And it says here, and I like the way this is phrased, they can feel the impact of their ideas in the room in real time. Next slide. So that was me. It's a really fuzzy photo, but it's the best one we had for right now as far as what we had for in the schools. This is a new touring production that we are launching just this year. We are trying to see, and we're working with teachers to see if we can craft theater that can reach elementary school age. So this is a piece called The Imaginators, and it's this really fun piece where there's this new girl, there's a brother and sister that move in, and this weird girl just rolls up and says, let's play and let's imagine and see what can happen. The whole entire set is made out of cardboard boxes. And they're just cardboard boxes, and the whole show involves picking things up and saying and imagining what it is other than the thing that it is. I work with a hula hoop most of the show, but it's not a hula hoop. It is my mystical ring, and through which I can foresee any danger. The show is a riot, and the kids absolutely love it. We have gotten to perform it at the Off Center for the Dramatic Arts as a launch, and we ended up having a talk back afterwards, and the kids would not leave. We had to have. They had so many questions. They wanted to see all the props, and you never quite know how somebody is going to react to your work, and to see how alive the kids were. I had a friend of mine say that they brought their kids to see it, and that afterwards they played Imaginators all day and started writing a play.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of love for the show, not just because I'm in it, but because of how those kids are just, yeah, they make my life. So let's see. Yeah, let's go to the next slide. We this summer are offering adult classes. If any of you are interested. So they're for adults of all levels to help you grow as a creative person. Specifically, we want to help you expand your avenues of expression and to learn to connect with others through storytelling and performance. The classes we're offering are playwriting, which is taught by Gina Stevenson. She just performed a one-person show last night. And it's a show that she's had for a while. The Flynn had a one-person show showcase early at the beginning of the year where they invited artists from across the country to apply. We had artists from New York City, and Gina was one of ours representing us. She's a phenomenal artist and playwright. We also have turning experience into art, which is our kind of intro to acting class and exploring, and that's taught with Quinn Roll. He is a professional Linklater instructor, which for any theater nerds out there, Linklater specializes in vocal technique, and it's a really sought after technique. Basically, when I landed here and heard he taught Linklater, I was like, "When's your next class?" I was in his pilot teaching class for that. And then we have Laura Rold is teaching a directing class. Laura Rold is a professional who has worked across Canada and Vermont. She is incredibly highly trained. She can speak multiple languages. She directed Imaginators, and her and I are currently co-collaborating on a piece not in Vermont with Vermont Stage, but from my personal experience working with her, she's one of the most brilliant people I've ever met. And I'm sad I don't get to take her directing class. So next time. And then for those who are returning to acting or enjoy acting, we have an advanced acting intensive class that I highly recommend. So next slide. Coming up, we have our last show of this season. Is called The Bake Off, and that will be June 17th through the 21st. It is our experimental spring production where different artists tackle the same subject matter. What we do is we invite 3 local playwrights to create an original short work inspired by a classic work. So last year we did Our Town by Thornton Wilder, and we had 3 local playwrights read Our Town, and they were Our Town was kind of broken up into sections and acts with a different theme. So the first act, the second act, and the third act. First act being new beginnings, second act being life, and the third act being death. And it was such a cool celebration of new work. The playwrights they're completely ours. They're local. They're Vermonters, and it is often like kind of a bit of an incubator and an inspiration of a work that could be expanded into a larger work. And usually those pieces also have multiple roles, so we're able to cast as many actors as we can in order to make it happen. So this year's event is going to be inspired by The Crucible by Arthur Miller, and that's my tag here is it's a classic drama about the stories people choose to believe, and the ways a community can be changed by fear, pressure, and suspicion. I love The Bake Off, especially if you like to support new works and explore new works. So I highly recommend coming to that one. So at the end, last slide. Join us. Please. I'd love to see you there at a show. Let me know if you go. I will want to gab with you about it afterwards. I had an experience just recently with Rhinoceros where my parents came in to see our new home, and I had to go see Rhinoceros largely because I wanted to, but also because I have, it's part of what I do to support Vermont Stage is understanding what the shows are. So I said, Mom, Dad, we're gonna go see this show. I know you just drove in, but And they love theater, but I never quite know when it was gonna land on them. Like sometimes, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I love them, is they're a bit of my litmus test for a lot of things. And Rhinoceros was in the round. We kind of came in late. So they ended up having to sit across the way from me and my husband. And, you know, I was a little nervous, like, I wonder if they're liking it. And I could watch their expressions the entire time and they laughed. It was a 2-hour long show. They laughed the entire time. And it was just one of the most, like, it just brought me so much joy to see my parents enjoying themselves and relaxing in that way. For me, that's also one of the big things that theater is all about, is this opportunity for us to come together and to be able to connect on something on such a much more intrinsic human level. There's something very powerful about a bunch of people sitting in a room and enjoying each other. So please sign up for our newsletter, attend shows and bring friends. And if you really want to consider giving in a bigger way, if you're ready for that, or want to get more information about that, consider becoming a donor or a sponsor, especially if you have a business. We're always looking for partners. And if you're interested in that, you can come talk with me or shoot me an email at Catherine@VermontStage.org. Together with thousands of our neighbors each year, we imagine a better Vermont into being. And I hope you guys will consider being part of that.
So we'll take some questions. Andy's first.
This one's okay. So I think I've seen every Vermont stage show for at least the last 6 or 7 years.
Oh,
They're all memorable, but the most memorable one was during COVID, when Christina was looking for a place to land a play because nobody could meet inside. We offered up our field, and the production of Maytag Virgin was in our field for 2 weeks, and to watch the construction of the set, watch all the rehearsals, you know, while they're happening, and to have just hundreds and hundreds of people coming to watch the play was very, very fun.
that's amazing.
But Andy,
You're right under the thing.
I knew that. What Andy?
Sorry about it.
I think it's better over here, correct?
Yes.
Yes, what Andy neglected to point out is that both Ashley, his wife, and myself have been board members.
Yeah.
Of Vermont State, so we can fill you in on the history.
Please do.
Let's have coffee.
Barb.
There you go, sorry. I can't see behind me.
At the beginning of your talk, you talked about the number of artists that has participated in the shows, and I was wondering what the definition of artist is, because there's a lot of behind the scenes people that bring these things into being. Yeah, do you consider like on the stage?
We just,
I just did.
so,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I love that question. I view theater as the nexus between multiple cultural sectors, specifically culture, commerce, and technology. So what's cool about crafting art is there is a whole facet of designers and technicians that have to utilize their skills like AV in order to craft a production. It is, I think theater is one of the coolest things because of that, because it's an opportunity for people to actually utilize their specialties for creative means for storytelling. So yes, like when I am working on Garbologists as a big giant garbage truck puppet master and then running around and running costumes, they are considering me an artist. So every person, and also Vermont Stage as a whole has many folks involved who are multi-talented. Vermont as a state, I'm blown away. There's so much talent here. There's so much, so many people here that don't just like specialize in one thing and only do one thing, but they are true artisans. They could make it happen in a box by themselves. So yes.
Any other question?
Question and a comment. The question is, are most of the plays appropriate for like middle school age or older? And my comment is, my daughter just did playwrights. I didn't realize it was through you guys. Hers got selected to be read, not acted, but read. And it was really cute because she got home and she was kind of off about it. And it was a murder mystery, and people laughed at us part that wasn't supposed to be funny in the book. I mean, it's kind of great that people are laughing no matter what.
You can tell her that struggle is real and it'll feel that forever, but it's a beautiful thing. I think, yes, we do a gamut of shows and we try to keep them open. As a whole, there are some shows that are going to have certain content, but actively Vermont Stage tends to kind of like there's theater out there that'll go and do the really gritty stuff, and that's not Vermont Stage. We'll hint at it, but we tend to try to keep things more family friendly. So yeah, but if you're ever not sure, just call the box office. We'll let you know. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
One last quick question. On garbologists, so all those garbage bags, what do you actually stuff those with for those days?
On garbologists, I think we had, oh gosh, I don't even remember. It was close to 100 garbage bags across the entire stage that me and my stage manager ended up set and reset every single night. And when they threw garbage bags in it, I caught them. So I would catch them the way, and that show was a lot of fun because the script actually in the script references specific things they're pulling out of the trash. So they pulled out a giant picture of oh shoot, what was his name? The painter. Who's the
Van Gogh?
Picasso? No, Bob Ross. Bob every night. But yeah, so there was something like over 80 garbage bags. They were filled with various things because they had to appear dense but be light and make sounds at the same time. So our props master stuffed them safely and then took boxes and filled them with assorted sounds and then taped those really well so that every time they lifted, they had weight, you had to adjust, and then they would make like all sorts of clanging noises. Yeah.
Impressive.
One last question. You had your hand up, Marnie.
Well, we saw garbologists, and I'm glad to hear there was no actual real garbage. There's no odor, so.
No.
I just wanted to point out another organization, just to sort of fill you in on the local theater scene. My wife and I, over here, are members of a group called The Neighbors. Have you ever heard of that?
I have.
The Neighbors is over 100 years old, and it's a group of people who are kind of theater nerds. It's a very heterogeneous group. We actually have some local people who frequently act in local productions, and a couple of people who've written plays. And it's people like me whose sole exposure as a performer to theater was playing Abraham Lincoln in elementary school and the Gettysburg Address. They're citing. But anyways, we do one act once a month. We get together and read one act plays, and it's a lot of fun. It's just like a table read, except it's in a circle. And if anyone's interested, we're always looking for new members. It's great fun. There was a big article in 7 Days about it about a year ago. So anyways, it's a pretty cool group.
That's amazing. 100 years, you said?
Over.
Are the original members still back then?
Vermont is really, really cool.
They used to come in formal dress, make it into an evening, go from house to house and recite. It's fascinating.
Theater. We need it.
Can't hear me? Can't hear. Thank you so much. Theater changed my life in a huge way. Oh, one.
I don't know what's going on.
It's okay. I will tell you. So first, to thank you for being here today, we are going to make a donation in your name to the Connecting Youth Mentoring Program at Williston Central School. And so they wrote you a little thank you.
Oh, that's so cool.
I thought you would like that. And then, yes, you get to pick the winning raffle ticket and you can just read the last three numbers.
3827609.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, hey.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah, thank you.
So great speech, great presentation. Congratulations on 30 years. We are also a 30-year-old club here, so
Very cool.
we must have went to high school together.
Yeah.
Two quick announcements. Let's see. Elton?
Yep.
Didn't give you notice, but.
No, I saw an email. We got the Girls on the Run 5K this weekend. If anyone wants to volunteer, all the instructions are in the email. I know I'll be doing setup and then have to leave, but there's so many different things that you can do, from just standing along the race, cheering people on. Again, I did fun hair last year, which was so much, like, it was awesome. So whatever anyone wants to do, the sign-up's online. It's this weekend. It's Saturday. Or just show up, and you could also run the 5K and be there. It's great energy. It's absolutely packed. So I don't think anyone signed up yet. I did ask them to send me. So if anyone else wants, I'm gonna be there either way. Yep.
Where is it?
It's in Essex at the fairgrounds. Yep. So thank you.
Lisa? You have something going on this weekend?
Yes, surprise.
So I didn't see the email. No, we've got St. George's Dragon Days on Saturday. They, Tracy, myself, and Lori are going to man the Rotary booth. Come by, say hello, help us reach out to the St. George community. And thank you to everyone, probably Elizabeth, who started all the plant starts that were from Green Up Day, because we'll have those, what was left, for giveaways and to generate some interest. Yes.
What are the hours?
It starts at 11 and I think it goes to 1 or 2.
3.
3. And it is located at
St. George Town Hall in beautiful downtown St. George, right next to the Quickie Mart.
One room of school.
Thanks, Lisa. So we have, the next event after that is gonna be changeover. So we have changeover on Monday. It's 5:30. Please come early if you can. Tables need to be set up. We have it catered. It is $20 a person. I didn't put that in the notes. Hopefully everybody knows where Isham Farms is. And oh, and somebody made a question before. This won't be my last meeting. My term is actually till July 1st.
Oh,
So I did see the only way you're gonna get me out is, the impeachment. I did see the petition going around. I grabbed it. So if you started take it up line, but I will be president until July 1st. Then Chris.
You should put events.
Yes.
So mention that we go Monday, there's a meeting on Thursday.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to prepay for the, June, for our changeover, you can do that today.
Prepay with Andy.
Then you have faster entry.
how much?
$20. So since we have changeover and that is an official meeting, there will be no meeting on July 4th.
June.
June 4th. July 4th. The meeting after that is July 11th.
You recite the 12 months.
Do all presidents lose it towards the end of the term?
All presidents lose it towards the end. So June 11th is gonna be on the road. It's gonna be in South Burlington. And it's gonna be with South Burlington Club. It is Thursday. It is 7:15, just like our club. They met with us. We're gonna meet with them. And, it'll be a great time.
Where?
I will send out the notice probably once or twice. I didn't write it down here, but,
Okay.
actually, okay.
Oh,
It's in the calendar, yeah. It's in the calendar part of the note. So it's 180 Market Street. It's at the South Burlington Senior Center,
The library.
adjacent to the library.
The
Questions on changeover, questions on anything else? Chris, come on down.